As private and public schools prepare to resume on September 16th, parents and guardians are grappling with the high prices of stationery items that the awards need to aid their learning activities. Tobi Sanusi visited some stores in Oshogbo, the Osun State capital, to assess the level of expenses ahead of school resumption.
This period is usually one of the most challenging times for parents and guardians as schools prepare to resume next week, but the hike in prices of goods and services makes it even more financially constraining. A mother of three, Afolashayo Folawe, recounts her family's ordeal having received a new textbook bills for her kids who are in primary and secondary schools, coupled with school fees, feeding and transportation bills.
I have 3 kids in private school. The one in nursery 2, our textbooks cost over 50,000 naira, while the one in primary 3 will cost us over 70,000 naira. My child in GSS 1 will also pay about 100,000 naira just for textbooks, let alone school fees. It is not easy at all. Before, if we buy 5,000 naira fuel, it will take them to school for a week. But now, 5,000 naira fuel cannot last more than 2 days to take them to school.
Elizabeth Adieko is also faced with the same challenge, saying many parents have reached their breaking point as a result of the economic hardship. Mrs. Adieko, who bought a textbook for 2,000 naira last year for her kid, now has to look for extra income to get the textbooks, whose prices have more than doubled.
Parents, we are really passing through a lot because the present situation of the country is really alarming. Because if you are buying a textbook now, one will be costing 5,000. Last in the other time, it is no more than 2,200. It's almost times 2 or times 3 now. So the parents, they are carrying everybody, which we are begging our government to look into the situation of things because it's getting out of hand. But we have to double effort because the students are needed to buy things for, like higher education now is costing 8,100 naira for 2. And if you are having a kid in SS2, SS3, she will be using up to 18 coupled with a lesson. So you have to buy it because there will be no subject that will be left out without buying textbook. Even the food item is getting out of hand in the market.
This is usually the time when stationery vendors make most sales, but it's the other way around now. 67-year-old publisher Adebayo Elugbadebo says he has abandoned his car owing to the fuel price hike, resulting to public transport to sell the practical chemistry textbooks he publishes. Mr. Elugbadebo, who travels from Ife to Oshogbo to sell to bookshops, is struggling to sell 100 copies of his books, compared to last session when he had sold about 2,000 copies already.
I used to produce 3,000 copies at a time. Because of high price in some commodities, I produce only 1,000 copies. And out of these 1,000 copies, I've sold only 100 copies. But compared to last year, I was able to sell roughly 2,000 copies within short time. But now, the price is so high because what I produce, the cost of transport to bring it to this place, so I have to consider that one. The cost of transportation is part of it because I have to, from Ife, I came here, 1,700, before 1,800. That was we used to take the transport. But due to that, I could not produce much as the last year. So I have to appeal to the government to look into this petroleum. That's the one that tie everybody together. So if they can reduce this petroleum factor, I think everything can be easy.
The story of other booksellers like Alison Ekene and Christina Omotosho is the same as the Lament low patronage owing to the skyrocketing prices of textbooks and other stationery items. Mr. Ekene says they sold the likes of General Mathematics textbook for 2,715 naira last year, but it now goes for not less than 5,500 naira, a rate many parents cannot afford.
People turn up to buy. By this time last year, we've been very busy attending to customers. But right now, everything I kind of scanty. The cost of everything is very, 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 very high. And General Mathematics, for example, now, by this time last year, it was 2,750. But right now, the current price now is 5,500 naira, 5,750, 5,500 and 5,750. For instance, Baba now, we sold Baba last year at the rate of 2,500, now at the rate of 4,000 naira.
Last year, we sold a pack of 60 leaves exercise book for 2,200 naira, but is now sold for 2,800 naira. While 40 leaves goes for 2,000 naira. By next week, 60 leaves will be sold for 3,000 naira because of the incessant increase.
Already, Edo and Kano states have postponed resumption as a result of fuel price, which is within 1,000 naira and 1,200 naira.
Schools will be resuming next week, and markets like these, especially where stationery items are being sold, are expected to be flooded, especially with parents that are restocking items, stationery items, for their wards. But that's not the case, as many vendors here are complaining of low patronage, and this is also amidst the fuel price hike. Many parents already have withdrawn their wards from private schools to public schools. And the question remains, for how long will Nigerians continue to grapple with this economic hardship? From Oshogbo, the Osun State capital, Tobi Sanusi, Western Spring Television News.